Hi, today you will learn basic concepts of DBMS. So in this video, you will learn data, database, database system, DBMS, DBMS advantages, DBMS applications. So let's get started. First, we talk about data. So you can define data as it is a facts and figure that can be recorded and which have implicit meaning. And for example, Ankit 28. Now next is database. Database is a collection of interrelated data. As I explained earlier, what is data? Here, interrelated data means the data which is connected to each other. For example, roll number, name, address of a student stored in a student file is a database. You can show it in a form of table. Here you can see the name is Ankit, his roll number is 1, and his address is ABC. So here you can clearly see this data is related to each other. A database can be of any size and varying complexity. A database may be generated and manipulated manually, or it may be computerized. Now next is database system. It is a computerized system whose overall goal is to maintain the information and accessible on demand. So database system advantages is redundancy can be reduced, inconsistency be avoided, and data can be shared. Data gathering can be possible, integrity can be maintained, security restrictions can be applied, and requirements can be balanced. So these are some advantage of database system. The next is database management system. A database management system consists of collection of related data and refers to the set of programs for defining, creation, maintenance, and manipulation of a database. Before explaining much more about database system, I want to explain file-oriented approach. The traditional file-oriented approach here we store the information in a separate master file and has its own set of personal files. In a file-oriented system, you have to maintain many files, which is very difficult to handle. Here are some disadvantages of the file-oriented approaches. If I'm talking about data redundancy, means same information may be written in a several files, and this redundancy leads to higher storage and access costs. If I'm talking about inconsistency, so that it means a various copy of the same data may longer agree. For example, a change student address may reflect in a single file but not everywhere. The next one is difficulty in accessing data. So this file system do not allow data to retrieve in a convenient and efficient manner according to your choice. So you may get the difficulty to access that data. Next is data isolation. As you know, the data is scattered in a various file and files may be in a different formats with a new application program to retrieve and the appropriate data may be difficult. So this is a problem, data isolation. Now then, data integrity problem. The value of data in a database must follow or satisfy some rules or consistency constraint. For example, a company have a policy that the age of an employee must be greater than 25. The value which it's not satisfy this constraint must not be stored in the respective column. So in the file system, there is no procedure to check this. Now next is concurrent access is not possible. So in the file system, if we want to search or access some data item, becomes very difficult because in the file system, for every operation, we have to make different program. So it is very difficult for us to access the concurrent data. Now next is security problems. In file system, there is a very less security. Generally, the securities provided by the file systems are locks, guards, etc. So these are some file processing disadvantages. Let's discuss advantages of DBMS over file processing system. So these are some advantages of DBMS. First is data integrity. As I explained earlier, data integrity means the data is consistent and accurate in database. So here in DBMS, it is essential as there are multiple databases in DBMS. All these databases contain data which is visible to multiple users. So it is essential to ensure that the data is consistent and correct in all databases for all users. So DBMS is maintain this. Next is data security. As I explained earlier, the file system provides less security. Here, DBMS provide only user authorized must be allowed to access the database, and their identity must be authenticate using username and password. Unauthorized users shouldn't be allowed to access the database. So here, DBMS provides a better platforms for data privacy. Now, next is better data integration. Due to the database management system, we have access to well-managed and synchronized from the data, making it easy to handle. It gives an integrated view of how particular organization is working and keeps track of how one segment of the company affect another segment. The next is minimize data inconsistency. As we know, in file system, same data appears in the different places. So when any changes is made, it is very difficult to maintain the data consistency. But in DBMS, minimize data inconsistency. When any changes are made, it must be reflect to all the users. Next is fast and concurrent access. So DBMS system helps the user to provide fast answer to the queries, and you can access the concurrent data. Now next is recovery and backup. DBMS automatically take care of recovery and backup. The user not required to take periodically backup as this is taken care by the DBMS. Now next is simplicity. DBMS allow us to understand data better with a clear and simple logical view. With DBMS, many operations like deletion, insertion, or creation of file or data are easy to implement. Now next is disadvantages of DBMS. Complex. It is a bit complex since it supports multiple functionalities to give the user the best. The underlying software has become complex. The designer and the developer should have through the knowledge about the software to get the most out of it. Now next is uses large amount of memory. Because of its complexity and functionality, it uses large amount of memory, and it also needs large amount of memory to run effectively. The next is DBMS system works on centralized system. All users from all over the world access this system. Hence, any failure of the DBMS will impact all the users. So these are some disadvantages of DBMS. Now, applications of DBMS. These are some applications of DBMS. Banking, airlines, universities, sales, online retailers, manufacturing, and human resources, where we use DBMS to keep track or record the data. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.